Assalamu alaikum. Let's cook. Okay, people, we're going to talk about two white American men, both brothers in blue, both named Matthew, from two different states. Very disgraceful. The first one is this guy here named Matthew Mall, 47-year-old white American man. He's a DC police lieutenant and also a proud member of the LBGGG. Now, he's somebody who moved up the ranks in a big metro police department. He's trusted. He gives statements. He writes reports. His testimony can send people away for many years, and probably has, I'm sure it has. But he's into small people. This guy was just arrested in Maryland on charges of sexual solicitation of a small person, according to the Harford County Sheriff's Office. Harford County is where he lives at in Maryland. Now, this guy, DC Police Lieutenant Matthew Mall, he was arrested by deputies, and he also faces charges of soliciting child P, nasty materials with small people on it. You know what I'm talking about. Now, according to the documents, this DC Police Lieutenant Matthew Mall, he tried to meet up with somebody that he believed was a 15-year-old boy for activity. This guy got arrested, he got busted, and he's held without bail. As far as his police job, according to the DC Metropolitan Police Department, Lieutenant Matthew Mall was placed on administrative leave, and his police powers were revoked after Harford County Sheriff's officials contacted DC Police Internal Affairs about this arrest. DC Police said, "The allegations in this case are extremely disturbing and in direct contrast with the values of the Metropolitan Police Department." Very disturbing, people. So this guy, he got ran down on by this dude, Chris Hansen. Check it out right quick.
One, being arrested. Right, take your glasses off?
No, I'm good.
Okay. You're smiling. You think it's funny?
No, I don't. I'm just not going to answer any questions, thank you.
You talked about taking him out after getting to know him for cheesesteaks. And if it goes well, you say you'll meet the monster at the end of the happy trail. A month and a day you spent chatting with someone who told you they're 15.
Yup, so they made this guy famous. He's all over TV. Chris Hansen type stuff. So people, this guy right here, this Matthew Mall guy, this DC police lieutenant, big hypocrite like most of them. He served as the chairman of the DC Fraternal Order of Police for one term between 2016 and 2018. And in 2017, union members tried and failed to have him removed as the chairman. He's a weirdo, not a good guy. That's why they wanted to try to remove this dude. So check how this dude was busted. Now, how this all started. According to the documents, this dude, there was an undercover sergeant with the Harford County Sheriff's Office posing as a teen named Nate on Reddit, connected with this guy, DC Police Lieutenant Matthew Mall. They talking, and this Nate, who was saying he was 15, made sure that he brought this up numerous times. His age, his inexperience, all that. Okay? So they really wanted to bust this dude. Could you imagine how many people they would bust if they did this one a day? You know what I'm saying? So these two were talking on Reddit for about a month. And this Lieutenant Matthew Mall is sending him nasty photos and everything, messages, all kinds of stuff. He tells the kid that he can get in trouble. You know, he knows that he's a child and he would have to keep his mouth shut because he would lose it all. And then that's when he was busted on this Chris Hansen type stuff, okay? You see the crew run down on him. And this dude is locked up. They say that he was held without a bond. I'm not sure about now. But look, here's the thing. If you're in law enforcement or you've been around law enforcement, you know people in law enforcement, you experience that life, you know that this ain't shocking, man. You know that I work with these kind of guys, and it's more common than people think or even understand. And most of the stories never hit the paper, never hit the news. Some people join law enforcement just to take advantage of people in these positions. You know, small people, just like some guys become priests or Boy Scout leaders to do the same thing. Law enforcement is the same thing. And with law enforcement, regardless of what people may want to say or believe, you are actually above the law for a time being. A guy in law enforcement, you are above the law until you get caught. You know what I'm saying? I heard of too many guys that I work with, and this is federal law enforcement getting busted. I've spoken with a few on this channel. One of them blew his beak off. The other one, he's still in Delaware State Pen, and a few others, blew their beak off that I didn't actually know. You know what I'm saying? But the ones that I speak of, I actually knew these dudes. I would see them. You know what I'm saying? So some people may ask, well, why would this guy, Lieutenant Matthew Maul in D.C., put his life and career on the line to do this? Listen, he can't help it. He's not normal. This guy is under a spiritual illness. You know, this guy is a homosexual. Being part of the LGGGG, he has pride in that. Anybody that is proud of that, you know that something is wrong with them. Okay, if they doing it, terrible. But when you're proud of that, you know that these people are sick. And also, what he's into is also the P word, small people. That's what it is. That's why you see these Greek statues and stuff. You see little boys sitting up under these people. You know what I mean? The best man type stuff. The best man, this is not a grown man. These are little boys. These are not men. Preying on small people is part of being what they are. That's why you see the Skittles.org making sure that they get all kinds of stuff in school books. Why do you think that was so high on their priority? To get these things in school books. They always want to bring small people to these shows where they have a big old ugly drag queen reading books to kids. It's important for them. Taking away grants and all kinds of things from people if they didn't teach this stuff at the school. Sick time, people. So this guy here, this is his agenda in life to do this. This is a sick person. So check this out, y'all. Let's move on to this other Matthew. This guy's name is Matthew Luckhurst. Now, people who follow the channel, you know I covered this dude before. This is the guy the police officer in San Antonio, Texas, who picked up dog feces on the ground and put it between two slices of bread in a styrofoam container and fed it to a homeless man. The homeless man didn't eat it. People, I don't know if you remember covering this right here. His name is Matthew Luckhurst, San Antonio Police Department. The chief heard about it, said it was very vile and disgusting. He was fired in 2016, but he was later reinstated because of some old technicality, whatever they say. Besides him doing that to a homeless person, in 2016, in a separate incident, this guy, Matthew Luckhurst, and another officer went into a women's restroom at a bike patrol substation. San Antonio Police Department bike patrol substation. They go into a women's restroom, defecate, and smear feces all over the toilet seat and the wall. This is what these guys are doing, walking around with guns. These are facts. Okay, so this became another disciplinary case against him. Another one, okay? He was actually fired for this. They overturned it, reinstated him with back pay. He comes back. But somebody in San Antonio's like, nah, this ain't going down, and was able to permanently fire this dude right here. Then he leaves. He goes and gets a job at a department called the Floresville Police Department. They fired him as well. December of 2022 after some misconduct. This same dude right here, Matthew Luckhurst, this same dude, he is now the police chief, not an officer. He's the chief in a place called Benavides, Texas, small town. June 1st, he became the chief. City council voted to promote this dude to the chief. They said he met all employment standards and passed required background checks. Fired by San Antonio twice, fired by another police department. Now he's a chief. Man. Disgusting. Who did this? White people. Who causes these problems at the root, the core? White American people. Now here's a big misunderstanding that law enforcement that a lot of people don't get. They like guys like this. Now, everybody's not getting through. Some people are going to get fired, of course. But sometimes the higher ups, the bigwigs, they prefer a guy like this because that's somebody that they have something on. His job is threatened. And when somebody's job is threatened, they don't want to lose it. They don't want to lose their money and their livelihood. They know that you can make them do anything. You can make them cover for you, your secrets, whatever. That's often how it goes. And this goes in federal law enforcement, state, local, all of it. So when you see a guy in the news sometime doing something wild, you may see this person eventually laying low for a year or two and then getting promoted within their own agency. You know what I'm saying? Because these people, depending on the energy or what's coming from the people up top, they look at that like, oh, we could recruit him or we could recruit her. Oh, he did such and such. So I know he's not going to tell on me for that. I know she's not going to tell him. That's how it works in law enforcement. Not all the time, but very often. You know what I'm saying? So when you see a guy like this, with his past, being hired by a small city out there in Texas, you got to know that the people who hire him, the city council, the little mayor or whoever, is some very sinister and nasty things going on out there. They got a lot to hide, probably involving small people or violating women's bodies and stuff. That's probably what it is. But that's the only way that this dude would get hired. That's the only way that somebody would hire a guy like him. They have some things to hide and they know he's going to protect it or let them do what they got to do coming through their little town or whatever, probably got trucks with, parts and stuff and all. Who knows? But it's definitely something bad going on. That's 100% fact right there. There's no way. That's how these people work. Easy.